Hey guys, hanging out in downtown San Diego with a chance to be one of the first people in the world to drive this. The third generation Kia Soul. When the designer designed this vehicle, he had in mind a boar wearing a backpack. Did he succeed? Well, I have to tell you, you shouldn't buy this vehicle until you found out the most important things about it. I'm going to tell you right now.
Originally, there was a lot of cars in this category. You remember the Nissan Cube, and Scion had a car too. None of them survived. The only survivor in this category happens to have been the Kia Soul, and the most successful car in this category. This third generation was inspired by the Kia Trackster, and if you remember that car, it didn't look very practical, but it looked very sexy. When they designed this vehicle, they made it much more aggressive. It looks stronger, it looks bolder than any other Kia that came before in the Soul family.
Now, Kia are famous for their Tiger Nose grille, and they still have the Tiger Nose grille in the brand new third generation Soul. It's a little lower, and you have to look carefully for it, but it's there. But something they flipped between the GT line and the X line is this: the headlights and the fog lights. Headlights here, daytime running lights below in the GT, and below here LED fog lights. Flip over to their X line version, and these are the daytime running lights, and the headlights are below.
They wanted to make this vehicle more family practical, so they made it longer and they made the door openings much bigger. And interestingly enough, Soul is written on the rear quarter panel of the vehicle instead of the back of the vehicle, which makes the way that they've designed this vehicle very unique. Look at the tail lights at the back. They are something that you don't ever see on any other car. Very bright, very in your face, but a unique design. And I can really say unique design about this car. The other thing that's kind of interesting about it is those twin tailpipes on the GT. Definitely looks very sports car-esque. Now, if you take a look at the trunk is kind of interesting. The opening is much wider, and it has that dual stage cargo floor where you can actually remove a piece of the cargo floor to get a bigger dip. I like that because one of the problems I always have is when I load groceries in the back of my family car, you go around a corner with a little spirited driving and those groceries tend to drift. But with that dual stage cargo floor, you actually can sit your shopping bags in the back. I know it's a little thing, but apples and onions rolling around the back of my car isn't my favorite thing.
Kia like to call these the greasy parts under the hood. There are two different engines. In the X line, you get a 2-litre that outputs 147 horsepower. In the GT version of the vehicle, you get a 1.6-litre turbo that outputs 201 horsepower with a dual clutch 7-speed transmission. The cool thing about this is that it was tuned by Albert Biermann, who's famous for doing the BMW M cars, the Genesis G70. This is a car that gets a lot of great performance out of this little 1.6-litre engine. So not only is it functional and funky, but Albert Biermann made it fun.
So how does this car drive? Well, I am in the GT version of the car. It has that 1.6-litre turbo, and maybe it's time to punch it a little bit on the freeway.
Now, this is the X-Line version of the brand new Kia Soul. It looks very meaty, very off-roading. X-Line you would think meant all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, but let's get this out of the way right now. There is no all-wheel drive in the new Kia Soul. There may be in the future, but right now it's just two-wheel drive.
On the inside here, there is a lot to look at. A really cool D-shaped steering wheel, a lot going on. Actually got paddle shifters pushing away around the dash. It's really soft touch on the inside of this. Amazingly, a 10-inch screen is the top of the line screen in the GT. And then if you choose to have a smaller screen, the X-Line has a 7-inch screen as well. So, but the 10-inch, huge, absolutely enormous screen. Now, my favorite feature of the brand new Kia Soul has got to be this cool LED light design in the door area. Now, a lot of times they had these speakers, the Beats speakers in the original Kia Soul, which were down low with LED lights, but you really couldn't see them unless you looked down. Well, they wanted to keep that same feeling in this new Kia Soul, so what they did is they put these LED lights up by the door handle. It's really good looking, and I think it's sort of a spirit of what Soul is all about. The other thing that's really cool about this vehicle is the heads-up display. Now, it is a little heads-up display that comes out of the dash, but let's be honest, how many cars in the class that start under $18,000 have a cool heads-up display? Kia already know they have a winner on their hands. It's not hard to know that the Soul is working out for them. Nicely put together on the inside. Everything's simply laid out. Very obvious. The car drives very well. It steers well. It has increased brake size on the vehicle. Because of that 201 horsepower, the fact that Albert Biermann wanted a vehicle that could brake as well as go. He does that in every vehicle he designs. If you're going to go fast, he wants to give you bigger brakes so you can brake as well. It's a top-notch piece of machinery. Kia already know that. They're going to sell a whole ton of these vehicles. It's going to be a mainstay of the brand, and it should be. It's well put together, it's well designed, and it's fun. I will tell you though, I'm not quite sure whether I see the boar with a backpack on.
Starting price of the brand new Kia Soul is going to be under $18,000. If you check every box, you'll have a hard time getting over $30,000. Best fuel economy, 35 miles a gallon on the highway. For our auto expert, I'm Nick Miles.